What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for coming back for another coming back for another video. In this video, I'm going to go over flourishing and how I went about learning it and how I am continuing to improve my flourishing. So if you don't know what flourishing is, I'm going to give you a brief example, and I'm just going to be using a regular pen just to show you that you're capable of doing flourishing with a pen. So flourishing, it is, and this is just from my point of view and the terms that whoops, I didn't mean to bump the camera there. Let me slide it over. And the terms that I use may or may be incorrect, but anyhow, so flourishing are the decorative elements that you would end or start a word with, or you can actually do both. It just depends on your skill level. And okay, so I'm gonna do a flourished F. Like that. And you see this, it would be good if I finished the letter first. So you see this, let me use a different color pen. This area here, how it has a decorative element to it, flourish or swirl, or whatever you want to call it, compared to just doing a regular F like this. This is more decorative and more fancy, what a lot of people like to see, including myself, especially when it's done well. And with flourishing, it is not easy, and it is always a work in progress to get better, because I learned that if your letters that are very simple without any decorative elements, such as flourishes, cannot look good without all this extra added to it, and in this area as well. Because if your words are not able to look good without any decorative elements, it's gonna show. Flourishes are not gonna hide very simple, not well done letters. And the way how I learned flourishing was from, where's the book at? It's from this book, Incorporating Modern Flourishes into Your Lettering. I will have a link to this in the description below, and I'll put the person's Instagram handle on the screen. I did a review on this book. It is very, very good, and it will give you a good understanding of flourishing. It has helped me, and I still use quite a bit of the letters and skills from that book. So continuing on, and the way how in this portion I'm going to go over how I have been working on improving my flourishing to get it better and not look like a bunch of spaghetti. And that comes with practice, obviously, and a lot of trial and error and a lot of sketching. So what I will do, I would just choose a random word that I don't normally write. Okay, let's, for example, what's a very hard word? Letters that end with I. E's could be hard. You know, these are letters for beginners. What's another one? T's are not hard. W's could be hard to flourish with letters that, these are words that end with these letters. There's another one. L's could be hard. R's. There's a certain set of letters in a word. Well, these are letters from words that end with these letters, and learning how to flourish these could be very, very difficult. So what I like to do, I like to just have whatever I have on hand, whether it be some brush pens or just a regular pen. I will just really just practice, and doing this helps you a lot better. It helps you improve and get a lot better. So this ends with the letter I. And the direction that I chose to go was one that I've been practicing a lot, and is also one that you'll see a lot of people do. And one thing with flourishing, you have to study. And by study, you have to look at other people's work and see how they flourished and learn from them and be inspired, obviously, but you don't want to copy them, even though everybody copies, just depending on how you want to go about looking at it. And with flourishing, you want to always have the flourish lead you back to the last letter or back to the word. So if you are doing a flourish and it just ends here, it's as if it's just lost out here without having any place to draw your eye back. Because how I look at flourishes, I look at them obviously as movement, and as the letters have little extensions as if they're dancing. And I'm gonna show you a very bad example of flourishing. I still make this mistake. Here with the flourishes, you see how they are. I'll admit some of them are good and some of them are bad. One thing that I have always learned with flourishing, you do not want to have any of this happen. Let me zoom in. You do not want to have any of this happen. And it just, honestly, I forgot what what it was called. Just that you don't want to have any of this happen with your flourishing. And you see, flourishing is not easy. And if I would have kept going with this, because I am still, once again, learning flourishing and improving, it would have started to look like a bowl of spaghetti. And the script doesn't look too bad. Some of the letters are not as strong as they could be. It's just that it had started to get overdone here. Just this amount of flourishes is not bad. It's just that there are pieces that it would have to be redone and improved upon. And you just have to know when to stop. If you don't know when to stop with flourishes, you're going to really, really overdo a piece, you have to know when to stop and to not over design. Knowing when to stop really will help you a lot, because knowing when to stop is, like, say for example, you want to do a nice clean flourish piece, but you do a flourish piece and then you add in details in the letters, you add a drop shadow, and then you add little drops of ink, and then you also adjust the drop shadows. No, that is too much. That would be doing this. You would be over designing it. You don't need to do that, because keeping work simple makes the big difference, and you know, it'll be more enjoyable. So with flourishing, it is fun, it takes a lot of practice, and yeah, you have to practice a lot and study, and you're gonna fail a lot, you're gonna create a lot of crappy pieces. And flourishing is not something, if you're a beginner with calligraphy, you should not even take the time to master flourishing, because for me, my whole thing, if you follow my journey, I started out with the letters first, because the letters are what matters, not all of this extra stuff. This extra stuff will come after, and I feel doing that, you will have a better foundation. The letters are the foundation. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Peace and love.